Hello, welcome to physics class. Today we will be discussing on the topic measurement. As we all have the general idea of what measurement is, but let us try to know it in a scientific way. So let us check out the definition. As you can see, here we have the definition of measurement, and measurement is defined as comparison between a known quantity and an unknown quantity. Once again, I repeat the definition. Measurement is a comparison between a known quantity and an unknown quantity. So we know now we have two quantities here. One is known quantity and other is unknown quantity. So measurement means comparing these two quantities, known quantity and unknown quantity. So what is known quantity and what is unknown quantity? We have a marker here, green. Okay, it's green in color. We need to find the length of this marker. Length of the marker. Can you tell me what is the length of the marker? You can't, because we don't know what is its length. So here the length is unknown quantity. Here the length is unknown quantity. So now next, what is the known quantity? So I have to measure the length of this unknown quantity. That is, length is the unknown quantity. Let me measure the length. The length is 13.7 centimeter. Length is 13.7 centimeter. Here we are comparing the length. Here the length is said to be 13.7 centimeter. Length is compared to centimeter. Here the known quantity. Centimeter is the known quantity. So we are comparing the two quantities, unknown quantity length with the other known quantity, that is centimeter here. We call it unit. In scientific terms, we call it unit. So that means it's a comparison between a unit and a physical quantity, unknown quantity. I hope it made this made clear what measurement is. So measurement is the comparison between two quantities. Unknown quantity. Suppose you were asked to find the weight of this book. What would you do? You don't know the weight, so the weight is unknown quantity here. But after weighing it and you find out that it is 500 gram, then here gram is the known quantity because I'm comparing the weight with gram. So it's a comparison between unknown quantity and the known quantity. So this is called measurement. That is the comparison between unknown quantity and the known quantity is called measurement. So measurement means comparing the unknown quantity with a known quantity. So I have written here, known quantity refers to the unit and unknown quantity is the physical quantity like length, mass, time, and temperature, pressure. There are many physical quantities. So we'll study about it. Let's see the next part. The next part says, to carry out measurement, 3 things are required. So to carry out measurement, 3 things are required. So if you want to measure something, you need 3 things. What are they? They are physical quantity. Physical quantity means what you want to measure. Whether you want to measure the weight, or you want to measure the height, or you want to measure the temperature, or you want to measure the speed. These all are physical quantity. So you need a physical quantity. And the next is unit. So if you want to measure weight, you need kg or newton. If you want to measure height, you need meter or centimeter. And if you want to measure temperature, you need Kelvin, centigrade or Fahrenheit. If you want to measure speed, you need the similar unit, that is meter per second. So these are the units and these are the physical quantity that you want to measure. So now, and the other is last, the most important is instrument. Here we have one instrument, ruler. It is used to measure the length of an object. So it's an instrument. So for measuring a weight, we need an instrument. For measuring the temperature, we need an instrument. For measuring the speed, we need an instrument. And so on. We have many physical quantities, and so we have many instruments to measure different physical quantities, and we have different units for different physical quantities. So we'll discuss about these 3 one by one. So let's begin with physical quantity. Physical quantity. So as I told you before, to carry out measurement, we need 3 things, that is physical quantity, unit and instrument. So let's check out what is physical quantity. Physical quantity. The quantities that can be measured are called physical quantities. Anything that can be measured are called physical quantities. So we can measure time. So time is a physical quantity. We can measure temperature. So temperature is a physical quantity. We have speed. Speed can be measured. So it is a physical quantity. Density is a physical quantity. Height is a physical quantity. Volume is a physical quantity. Power is a physical quantity. Why is power a physical quantity? Because it can be measured. So it is a physical quantity. Volume is a physical quantity. Why? Because it can be measured. As the definition says, the quantities that can be measured are called physical quantities. That means volume is a physical quantity because it can be measured. What about the quantities like, there are some quantities that cannot be measured. Can we measure anger? No. Can you measure greed? No. The quantities that cannot be measured are called non-physical quantities. So these are non-physical quantities which cannot be measured. So as we were talking about physical quantity, so let's see the chart of physical quantity. Here, physical quantity can be of 2 types. Physical quantities are those quantities, I repeat again, those quantities which can be measured. So the measurable quantities are called physical quantities, and the measurable quantities are classified into two. They are fundamental or basic quantity. Sometimes we call it fundamental quantity, sometimes we call it basic quantity. And the other is derived quantity. And again, fundamental quantity is divided into two parts. They are scalars and vectors. And derived quantity is also divided into two parts, that is scalars and vectors. And in our next video, we will be dealing with the fundamental quantities and the derived quantities. Till then, have a good time. Enjoy your day. Bye.